Okay, that's it, guys. Let's get started. Our first offline event has been officially ended, and today we're gonna talk about it a little, about what's coming next. There is also a bunch of questions that have been gathered. I would like to touch on the issue of the network, how to work with it correctly when we set withdrawals. Also explain a bit, because I have many leaders and partners who work with this network. We got awkward situations. I go through all this step by step and explain, and also updates have been already made in web version. We're gonna show what we added. I turn a demonstration and we talk about it. So, okay, I think our event went extra great. For me, general, I had some personal, family-related moments, a very unfortunate story. The leaders know my brother crashed, died in the traffic, so I couldn't attend to the event, but I was still there with everyone, observing, seeing everything, and in fact, as it seems to me, as I think the event was indeed successful. Regarding the next event, I think it will be many times cooler, and here's why. Yes, of course, we as a company will make maximum effort to ensure it's not gonna be worse than the first one, but many times better. And secondly, because the number of people that I think will be at our second event will be 3 times greater. Again, there's not just words, that's approximate statistics. I checked the day before yesterday, we had I think 20 or 25 people who had already fulfilled the conditions to attend to the event, and we only at the start of the second event, of the second promotion, and already that many people already fulfilled the conditions. Plus, today I asked the technicians to give me an approximate breakdown of partners who are lacking, let's say, in range of $20,000 to $30,000 to fulfill this condition, and we have about 300 of such partners. During the period that will be allocated to us before the next event, I think there's a large mass of people and partners who will fulfill this condition. And it will actually be a very big gathering in Montenegro. Basically, it's summer, it's sunny in general, and I think the atmosphere will be contribute to a good pastime. Plus, let's not forget that that even though we had 5 days, let's say 4.5, the event was going with arrival, with departure. This time, again, I repeat, it will last 7 days, 7 nights. I think everything will be not so rushed as it was this time, because there was many programs. It was very intense and very high on different emotions and activities, excursions, dinners, entertainment programs, and similar things. And accordingly, everything, there was a lot of it. But at the same time, we had so little time for what we would still like to have time for, so to speak. Probably we wouldn't have managed it, but next time we definitely will. Okay, let's now, without a demo, I tell a bit about the network program, what partners encountered this week, because it's important. Look, let me explain how that's. Firstly, questions, and secondly, the later there's no something like, the bot banned me for 72 hours. How the program structured. Okay, how does it work? When you get accruals from the network program, a certain number appears in your balance. In fact, what does a normal people do? You have, for example, cashback appeared, the network has firmed, you have, let's say, amount of $7,000, right? And some cunning persons found a vulnerability in the system and start withdrawing in thousands in order to bypass the bot system. In fact, there is nothing terrible about it, but now how is our model built? I'm gonna show you example. So for example, let's say 30 people have closed certain ranks, certain statuses, and bot, for example, checks the first 10, right? It will check the first 10 partners. It has already checked them, and these 10 partners accordingly request comes to an exchange well, through the admin panel, it's necessary to top up the wallet asset by 50,000 USDT, so that these partners can receive the rewards. This is, of course, happens automatically. What happens next? Yes, this volume is transferred according to what the bot had already checked. But there are some partners who bypassed this security system and withdrew in small amounts, not falling under the limits, and collapse occurred. It turns out that instead of 10 partners, 6 or 7 start receiving. Not 10. Naturally, we started checking whether it had some problem, maybe some bug, whether something was being calculated incorrectly or something happened, and then naturally we identified the situation. In any case, the security bot checks it now. That's when a certain amount is credited to you, the bot starts running through and monitoring the entire system, where this amount came from, and because I think it's not secret to anyone how exchanges are hacked, how any resource are hacked. And this is finances. Naturally, for that reason, we check ourselves 10 times, because there is quite a lot of specialists in such field that we have. And believe me, I have my own staff who can also do such things, moreover, on other resources. To make it so, for example, to obtain some illegitimate profit, and there are plenty of such specialists. Therefore, we have triple security system. That applies both to across all auto payouts and to partner program and network program. And of course, naturally, such a rule was introduced if someone among partners make a certain number of small withdrawals, they fall under administration by the security bot. So in fact, they receive a ban for 72 hours. Again, why? The reason why. So that people don't mess around with the system. Be careful with that. Please pass this information on to the partners, because in any case, each of you and every partner who deserves a partner reward or cashback or everything of it definitely receive it. We have not had a single case where a partner did not receive it. Yet, it may take time. Again, let me repeat, just in terms of numbers. Yesterday, cashback closure amount to 187,000. Yesterday, some partners were pending for 21 hours. That is, the very last one that were submitted, we process it. For example, today, at night or in the morning, this is normal, this is okay. But day before yesterday, there were 40, right? Plus network reward had a completely different volume. And all these payments went through much faster. Thus everything, again, depends on the number of partners who entered this system with withdrawals. When we already see that the bot has started scanning, accordingly you just need to wait. You don't need to try to deceive this system, try to bypass it. You only deceive yourself, because then for 72 hours you won't be able to do anything until the full check of your account is completed. Therefore, be cautious and careful with it. This is just like a narrative. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. You can if you then want to do nothing for 72 hours, of course you can. But if you want to continue working fully, then please control your emotions and do as it should be done, not violate the system itself. Okay, good. Now let's open the demonstration. What we have added. What's new we have here? First of all, the most important here, that interests our partners, large partners, VIP partners, these partners who work with more than 100,000 USDT, whose assets exceed 100,000 USDT, it doesn't matter whether it's Bitcoin or equivalent, it always in 100,000 USDT. The first point, many questions came up on the topic. Look, if a partner, for example, has 20,000 in USDT, 30,000 in Bitcoin, in Ethereum, there's all different cryptocurrencies. We do not combine them into a single whole bunch, so to speak. For example, a partner work and has 100,000 USDT, then they will get under this program. Only in one currency. We do not gather all assets into one pile. We firstly, this is nonsense, because each asset gives it its own weight and each asset earns in its own way different profitability and so on. And accordingly, when a partner goes with the different cryptocurrencies, which is also correct, it represents certain decentralization of their assets, because as we saw, BNB for 10 days was given very off-the-scale result. Now there has been a slight drawdown, but Bitcoin, on the contrary, has its own good spread. And again, on exchanges, there is a very good gaps, and there is a good spread specifically for Bitcoin. Again, all these changing constantly. You cannot look just see in chat when BNB dropped a little and started in chat. But how is it possible? Look, guys, in any case, you know what surprised me more? Surprised me more the moment when someone said, "How is that? 2%, it's just pennies." I'm sitting right here and thinking, holy shit, 2% per day is 60% per month. And that just pennies to you? I just... But have I missed something? I actually kinda shocked at some point. I think we are the only platform on the internet that gives verified income. Not just draw numbers on the desk. It comes from activity and give, I believe, colossal profit for our partners. But at the same time, well, I understand you get used to good things pretty quickly, but nevertheless, those partners who do not understand how arbitrage itself work and do not understand the specific arbitrage, I would advise to just refrain, right? Or at least go to hire sponsor ask and like, guys, how does it work? So as not to look, well, at the very least, foolish in chats. Because of course community response and explain, but overall leaders should also do this, because I believe people need to be taught what arbitrage actually it is, because I had the impression some partners just came there to taught BNB 3%, it is how it should go. And at the same time came with that thoughts, but that doesn't happen. Yes, we conducted analytics with such returns. Contracts would close quickly. I cannot say that BNB as a whole will not be restored to, there will be not such gaps again. Of course there will be. It may happen in 2 days, in 3 days, in a week, but it will happen because we understand the potential and how the markets work. And of course those partners who work and continue to work will see it. As for Bitcoin, well, I have my own kind of worldview regarding this cryptocurrency, and now we will make a selection of exchanges. I'm getting a bit of ahead, but it's okay, I say it anyway. We're making a certain selection of exchange where Bitcoin, in fact, according to our current system, and here I can already confidentially state, will give from 3%. That's right, we're working on this, exactly on this. We found such a golden middle at which the cryptocurrency will stay within a certain channel, not going lower. For this cryptocurrency, I can already give some kind of a guarantee, because I see that it's actually possible. Again, this cannot be always all the time, but in most cases it will. What we are seeing now and what we analyzed, for example, a year ago, if we take the history of these exchanges, we see that in fact, yes, there was drawdown, but they lasted 1 or 2 days for the most part. And it will always be above 3, I mean, in terms of time for the investor when it returns. So let's move on. I think there's a lot of more to say about cryptocurrency, right? So we won't focus on one thing right now. The program opened in 2 days, and how would it happen? It will happen automatically. Here we have one of the partners. I don't know whether he is present on the call today. Alexei Frost. His volume that he works with exceed 100,000. And accordingly, what should happen? For arbitrage, from this balance, it will automatically move here. From arbitration to ArbPro. And here you will see the full display, full information. Everything happens automatically. There's no need to click on anything, no need to press on anything. What is the advantage of this program? We give the partner the full 24 hours minus 10%. We only retain 10% as a company. And all the traders that occur from basically midnight to midday, every 24 hours we give to these partners. In fact, you can already understand the income mathematically. If someone works in Bitcoin is given 4%, then the partner will earn 8%. Well, minus 0.8 for the company, so count it in, the partner will earn about 7% approximately. Let's say, for example, the BNB. If BNB is now giving 2.2, then accordingly a partner whose BNB volume exceeds 100,000 equivalently will earn 10% per day. Why is it so interesting? They're gonna close much faster, twice as faster, and the privilege only in the number of contracts, I guess. Accordingly, in the financial quality, let's put it that way. Because an average partner, for example, will do 3 contracts per year, while such partners will be able to do 6 contracts. Of course, roughly speaking, I'm not saying that exactly how it will be, but approximately it's stimulate the partner, there's a certain benefits from the company, and for the company as well. So, I think it's clarified now. And this will be enabled. I think on Thursday we'll also do a technical review where can we show and analyze it on the actual model. I will not show it in test mode, but I'm gonna do it in real time later. So, next, about pools. There's currently refinement going on, as we said. I think in the coming days there will also be a first updates. Next, we added reporting. Starting from today, we begin. There's a date, the company volume. Here's a breakdown. Again, accounting, but overall, we can show the breakdown here. Here's the volume, and it shows in individual cryptocurrencies. Like, let's take Ethereum. This is a total company volume in Ethereum. In Bitcoin, how much Bitcoin we have and how much we earn today. Here's in Solana and BNB. We have 3,000 BNB. Our guys work very well on BNB. And this forum, this volume. Next. Partners' income. Here's how much partners earn per day. Company income, this is how much we earn. Here, how much is spent on marketing. For you, this is also an interesting statistic. This is how much we give out per day for marketing. This is how much is in processing. What is processing? Many leaders ask question why the company gives a certain amount out. For example, 7,000 USDT is given per day. This is from the Infinity package or the last rank when closed. Why exactly this amount? Look, this is what you receive from the network and from partnership. But where does the company get the cashback from? Here. Marika's volume, for example, closed ranks plus earn in network, and Marika can withdraw only overall. There is a accumulation of assets that she cannot withdraw because it's on hold. This is the hold. From this we earn as a company and pay cashback. That's the first. The second reason why, because I think it's the correct question, it needs to be discussed. Let's open this tab. All contracts. There is already more updates here. We see how many contracts are open, how many invoices are open. You can scroll through it. I don't think that's a problem. And here will be what is closing. I want to remind our partners and all the investors who work with us in month and a half or even a bit less now, the first contracts closures begin. What does this give? Naturally, look, now we were in kind of a hamster phase, or an AK phase. Volume growing, everything growing, we capitalizing, it is so good, all great. But the moment will come when the contract starts closing. And naturally the numbers here will start to fall. Because contracts will close, some partners will not want to continue working with us, and some partners will later reinvest part of the assets, withdraw part, reinvest part, and naturally it's normal. We calmly acknowledge it. But the volume will decrease in any case, it will decrease every day, just like some time ago. months ago. Our volumes was growing accordingly in the same proportions, it began to withdraw, and naturally the network income begins to fall. You won't be able to close cashback anymore because you need to work twice as much, but since you have the hold option, here is your money that you earned during the peak of formation. In fact, you then withdraw this same money for yourself, your beloved self. And at the same time, you still need to work in order to increase the network volume. In fact, this is a defense that supports you through the entire time. It doesn't matter your volume decrease a bit or increase a bit, it gives you the opportunity to communicate with the company financially every day. This is a well thought model. And some partners just want to get everything here and now, but we have a slightly different vision on this matter. A partner should always receive, yes, a partner should always be interested in the company. When the partner is always interested in the company, then the work will also be together with the company, side by side. So it's important. You simply do not take into account the future points. You can consider also partners consider the moments here and now, but you need to look a bit further, behind the curtain. All contracts that will be closed will be here, together with the invoices. Next, regarding streaming, here's the most interesting part. Look, again, we have a division by cryptocurrencies. We can choose, for example, the Bitcoin or the Ethereum, for example. Right now, the most important thing, these broadcasts, they're still under development for now. We will be opening this soon. These are all our orders. This all spreads on the orders. Here's the pool ID. You can click on it and it will redirect you to the pool. The exact pool, the general pools, but in order to look at the transactions and compare them together with the pool, you will click here. A demonstration will open for you and you will watch what is happening on the exchange right now. Accordingly, you will see the balances on the exchanges, you will see the transactions that came in and what exchange operation took place there directly on the exchange itself. So that's what we're planning. And even added more. We added this model because it wasn't there before. We added this so the partners understand how many contracts are open, how many invoices are open, and accordingly we have a full package in this session. Naturally, with each opening we will inform, and I think that if part of it is already open this week, then by Thursday we'll already be able to review something with you. Something in the cabinets, VIP cabinets, beyond that. Let's go that way. Okay, next. We have, let me just change. Yes, you have a tab, right now this button is disappeared, but nevertheless it exists. Look, you know the username, you know, for example, your contacts. There's a search. You can, for example, you know how Marika is listed or Marika's Telegram. You can start using the messenger, our own messenger, for communication. And, like, say, greetings. Yes, hello, Evgeny. Hi, hi there. So yeah, that's basically how it works. You can find any member that is in our system. You can do this, and accordingly, we'll be able, I guess today, or this even now we even have emojis. Wow, okay. Oh, so yeah, you can use it as messenger. You can call. You can create chat. Later, they're gonna could create groups. So essentially, you start using it like you use Telegram. All of this is anonymous. We don't have access to the chats. We made it private this way. Basically, everything that happens is happening between you and your partners. And I think it will be convenient. You click around, try it out, find your partners through search, because all partners that exist, you can enter them into search, for example, by email, by Telegram, find them and message them. You're already using ArbCore and also as a convenient communication app, in case something happened with Telegram. Igor, what are you writing to me? So okay, that's the model itself. It's convenient, and in the future we test is a model directly in ArbCore. We will launch it, by the way, as a separate product. Naturally, there will be many additions here. I think there will be a lot. What exactly will be added? Some details and features besides calls and chats. I think the application will have a great functionality in the future. But first we will test it right inside our system. This button here. Yeah. There's also a reminder about support. This button will appear for you today in the messenger. It will be active. It will be located in your account settings section, help and chat, and accordingly you can already use this product. So basically, let me just check now. I'm actually curious how many. Yes, just let me check. I'm actually curious how many partners we have for the event now. Let it just load. And... oh, 27! Yeah, already 27 partners who will fulfill the conditions for Montenegro. Super! That's amazing. Partners being added. I checked. It was 20, now it's 27. I think that's a good indicator, a good trend. Overall, we are developing, growing, moving toward our set of goals. We have a slight delay again regarding the products. They're in the final stages, both the exchange service and the wallet. We're basically finalizing, but we have not yet deployed them. For what reasons? Because pools, reports, streaming, and working with contracts took a lot of time, and they are my main priority, of course, and it's quite a large, labor-intensive, complicated process. We'll launch a bit later, I think so at the end of the week, or next week, possibly 2 products already will be launched. And those partners who want to use either of them will go via separate link and use whichever product is you want to use. The wallet, I think everyone already has wallets, exchange wallets, regular wallets, but if it's interesting to use our wallets, welcome. I always be glad. So basically, that's about it. That's regarding the update. Let's just stop the screen sharing now. Okay, right. What we had happen and what we updated. The main tasks are still to finally resolve the issue to close the issue with pools, the streaming, the reporting, which is already here. It's already in fact working. I think that's after these updates that we're gonna make those partners who were still in the waiting stage, in stage of thinking whether it's worth working with the company or not. I think they get to decision, because we close our objections. We are approaching the stage of complete openness and transparency. So therefore, again, repeat, there's a lot of updates. There are many things to be updated regarding cryptocurrencies. Several more cryptocurrencies will be added, I think this week for sure. Basically, we already have about 5 prepared. We will open 2 of them, right? Because I just remember one of the partners said, how do they do everything so fast? It's kind of strange. So okay, we're gonna slow down. We don't do it so fast, so not to confuse our partners. Therefore, several cryptocurrencies will be launched this week. Also, refinement of the company's products is ongoing, as I said and mentioned. And the main thing is pool and reporting. Plus and Barrow were working on Telegram, that what you see in the web version, all this will be implemented in Telegram. Some preparatory steps already started, and also actively use the Telegram. I think that by the middle of next month we already be fully implemented. Both partners who use the web and Telegram version will use it in the same way. In general, that's all what I wanted to say for today. On Thursday we will talk in more details about ArbPro, plus I understand a couple more cryptocurrencies will be added as I understood. We'll analyze them, see what kind of returns they will give us regarding exchanges. The most important thing, I was talking and talking. Yes. Today we didn't manage, but most likely there will be an update regarding the companies. I said that during the event and before the event that we'll implement it. Look, the most important point, we already have the main company, ARP, our financial company, and this is the main one. It includes our Chinese company and another ARP company as a part of it. Yes, of course. A company that is specifically intended for exchanges. Accordingly, those partners who have old invoices, they remain as they are because the work was carried out from the Chinese company. All subsequent partners who will conclude a contract with us will already conclude a contract with the financial company. These updates will appear in the company section. Accordingly, you'll be able to familiarize yourself with the certificate of this company, with the address, with the name of the company itself, how to check it and verify it. I've already said this, the company number, the ID. Those who like to verify the things, everything is open, available in public. Therefore, at the current moment, there are already 3 companies and 5 more are in waiting mode. I think that in a month and a half we will still finalize all these issues. And in fact, with 8 companies, I think we will open about 300 exchanges. Yeah, that's not all of them, but it's a large part. I think that within 3 months we will fully open all the exchanges that we have directly in the exchange section. At the moment there are 473 of them. At that moment. Oh, the advantage, again, I have repeated many times and will repeat, never gonna tired of it. The advantage of partners is faster contract closing because the more opportunities we have to choose from different spreads, the better is both for the company and for the partners. Basically, that was the news. There's a lot of... I see a lot of hearts. Applause. Thank you all. Marika, this stage is yours. There may be some questions. Maybe. Okay, I'm here. Zhenya, thank you very much for the broadcast. I'm very glad that you're in such a good mood. There was even a bit of humor today, as they say in chat. Well, it's funny to me as well. Everything works really fast. Let's slow down a bit. But in fact, of course, you make us very happy with all the opportunities that exist now. This is a great income in Bitcoin and of course in BNB. I'm use all of this with pleasure. Showing my results, prepare for the next promo in Montenegro, and of course I really want to see you personally sooner. And I'm also waiting for news from you in this regard. I hope in the near future. Yes, I will announce this in the council at our direct one. I will give when we're gonna meet in Serbia. I think it will literally a couple of days and I will already understand because I have my own business directions here, which is like combining pleasant with useful, work and meetings. So now I will select dates, consult with my lawyers, so this happened together for us. And immediately in the cafe I will inform when we're gonna meet. Excellent, because many are eagerly waiting for this moment to buy tickets and accordingly prepare. In our difficult time, you understand you need to prepare for flights in advance. Of course, I will warn in advance. In fact, I think in a couple of days we'll give a deadline for them. In any case, there will be a buffer, a couple of weeks, so that all partners who can and would like to attend a live meeting with me can calmly fly or travel however they can. Got it. Well then, taking the opportunity, I want to send greetings to everyone I saw personally at the event of Phuket, to all our foreign language partners and Russian-speaking partners. We had an awesome gathering. It's a pity you weren't there with us, Zhenya, because there was a lot to do and a lot to talk about. And we had a great time, thanks to you and your team. For that, huge respect to you. Just enormous thank you, because it was really awesome. And I want to tell to our listeners and viewers, our partners, of course, that starting tomorrow, everything begins again in the cycle. Another working week, great profit and live events, and Zhenya will be waiting for you live on Thursday. That's, yes. Thank you everyone for joining the Zoom. See you on Thursday. Have a good evening, good day, good night. Bye everyone.